Hello everyone, you welcome to this edition of The Inside. I am Babla Jonathan. Today we continue analyzing happenings in the Republic of Cameroon in connection to the October 12, 2025 presidential election. And less than 2 months to the presidential election, the political landscape in the country is gaining momentum, is gaining steam, with tension also growing as Cameroonians look forward to a change in the governance mechanism of the country, as Cameroonians look forward to a new Cameroon after October, a new Cameroon where the people have their rights respected, a new Cameroon where the people are living more comfortably. These are some of the promises that the different candidates are making to Cameroonians as they prepare to go to the polls on October 12th to choose the leader who will lead the nation for the next 7 years. Also in this edition of the program, we are looking at the problem of land disputes, which is a major threat to social peace and cohesion in Cameroon, especially in the major urban centers, including the economic capital, Douala, where there is a huge pressure on land as a result of an ever-increasing population, with the influx of people from different parts of the country and other African nations to the city of Douala. We are looking at these issues in this edition of The Inside. Meet our guest in some few seconds. Our guest today is Senator Barrister KINYANG George. He's a member of the Cameroon Bar Association, owner of KINYANG and Co-law firm in Douala, littoral region of the country. Former senator, he acted as a standing member of the Human Rights Committee and the Constitutional Law Commission of the Upper House of Parliament, Cameroon's Senate. He has an extensive experience in agricultural law and administrative law and in negotiating government contracts and procurement. Barrister KINYANG George is actively involved in the fight against illicit financial flows in Cameroon. He is the national legal advisor of the Social Democratic Front SDF political party. Barrister, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Babila, and thank you for inviting me once more.
You're the national legal advisor of the Social Democratic Front SDF political party, and your national chairman, Honorable O.C. Joshua, is one of the 12 candidates running the October 12 presidential election in Cameroon. How do you foresee this upcoming event, a historic one in the history of Cameroon, when Cameroonians are looking forward to a change?
Oh, Mr. Babila, the political program of the SDF is already in the public pipeline. The political program is presently being publicized by the SDF and by our able and the most competent chairman, who is a candidate in this election. I'm talking about Honorable O.C. Joshua. Very bilingual, very competent, very experienced, and very handsome. So that is the future head of state of this nation.
I was going to ask you what makes him the most competent, and you started answering that question already by highlighting the fact that he's very bilingual. What are the other aspects, what are the other skills, the other qualities of Honorable O.C. Joshua that make him the best or the most competent according to you?
You see, a charismatic chairman of the SDF, our late John Fundi, groomed O.C. Joshua. You know, that is the person who brought democracy into this nation. Let Fundi, the chairman of the SDF, who founded the party. And as you see, O.C. Joshua has been with him throughout his stewardship. O.C. Joshua has moved with him all over the nation. You should bear with me that the late Fundi taught the whole nation. I mean all the 10 regions of Cameroon for more than 20 times before the Lord called him to glory. And he did all of this with O.C. Joshua. After he passed on, O.C. Joshua has done that more than twice. That is visiting, concerting, talking with all the stakeholders in all the 10 regions of this nation. That is the only politician who has the grip of this nation in his hands, who knows the problem that Cameroonians are going through. It is through the going around the nation that he came out with the number of Cameroonians who lack national identity cards. And the number is more than 10 million. So we are in a nation where you have more than 10 million Cameroonians without national identity card. And he has said it in his program that once he is head of state, it is going to be a free gift to all Cameroonians, because every Cameroonian is supposed to have a national identity card. Birth certificate will be free, ID card will be free, everything that has to do with the social status will be free. That is also Joshua, and that's what we need for this nation.
Right. Before we go further to talk more about your candidate, to talk more about the Social Democratic Front, I want to have your perspective, your reading of the socio-political climate, better still the political climate, to be more specific, ahead of the October 12th presidential election, marked by a significant change momentum that seems to be sweeping across the nation, with almost all Cameroonians talking about this.
The tension is too high. The steam is extremely high. Everybody, I can say everybody, even within the ruling party, is looking up to change. It is not only the opposition. You see, the system has failed. We are now trying to rescue a failed system. And this is the call of all Cameroonians, not only the opposition. And I can tell you that even within the system, you know, Paul Biya is being feared. It's not being respected. They fear him, and that is why the CPDM militant cannot openly, boldly come out and state their minds. But I would bet you that on the day of the elections, even the CPDM militant, they will vote out Paul Biya. He is not going to be the head of state come the 12th of October 2025. He will be voted out even by his own militants.
Is that what some of the militants of the CPDM told you, away from public view, in your conversations with some of them? They've been telling you that?
I am giving you the public opinion, the general public opinion. I am talking about the truth and nothing but the truth. That the system has failed. Nobody is comfortable to live in the failed system. So all of us, all Cameroonians, are looking up to change. And the SDF is the only party that has presented a program that will give them that change after the 12th of October 2025.
What are the indicators of failure, according to you? Because those who are on the other side, supporters, militants, sympathizers of the CPDM, of the regime, will tell you, no, we have not failed, we have progressed, we have improved, the President of the Republic has done this or that. What are the indicators of failure, according to you?
The first indicator, I am of the judiciary. The higher judicial council has not held for close to 7 years. And it has not held because the head of state is the president of the higher judicial council. It has been stagnant for more than 7 years. And it is stagnant because Paul Biya is not physically fit to sit and preside over it. You heard the Minister of Justice saying in Parliament that there are more than 800 criminal files against magistrates. It means that all of those magistrates with more than 800 criminal files have to face trial before the higher judicial council. So they are going to first trial before who? Before our present president, who is not seen, who is physically unfit because of his age. So that is an indicator that a failed judicial system is a failed economy, because nobody will come to invest in a situation, in a country where the judiciary cannot protect you. So just the fact that our judiciary has collapsed, this is a very strong indicator that we are in a serious problem. We are in a mess.
The judiciary has collapsed?
Yes, complete collapsed. I'm telling you, I'm a lawyer.
The institutions are there, the courts, and of course the other institutions, the ministry and all. They are. So how do you say that it has failed?
COVID date. We talked about COVID date. The file was with the Minister of Justice. We talk about the canned money that have been embezzled. The file, the names are there. The audit bench has given. Look at these are the names of the people who have embezzled. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. So the system has been hijacked by corruption. And how do you think that a system that is feeding on corruption can sustain? It's impossible. That is why I am saying that the system has failed, and everybody, including the CPDM, is looking forward to change. And I say that Cameroonians should take their time and read the program of the SDF presented by our competent, the most competent candidate, Honorable O.C. Joshua.
Apart from
that is the solution, federalism.
Apart from the judiciary, what are the other indicators of failure that you're talking
Even
about?
The executive does not function. For how long has the government not been changed in this country? For how long has the head of state presided over his government? Who is in control now, as at now, in terms of the executive? Is it the Prime Minister? No. There are some ministers that the Prime Minister cannot talk to them. There are some ministers that are answerable directly to the presidency. Minister of Defense is answerable directly to the presidency. And who is in charge of the defense? We are talking about territorial integrity. And so if the Prime Minister is there without powers, if the ministers are there doing whatever they want, because there is no patron who can lord it over them, is that not a failed system? A government that is collapsing, the government that has collapsed, that is not functioning. That is a failed system. Ministers, they don't care. The minister says what he wants to say. They don't mind about the law. There is no law. Nobody. No. In fact, the system is so bad. The executive, one person is in charge of it. Phobia. The judiciary, one person is in charge of it. Phobia. Even if the Constitutional Council that is there to ensure the respect of the Constitution of the Republic is also been hijacked by an individual, is functioning according to the whims and caprices of somebody who is the head of state. Then, is that not a collapse?
But those are allegations that...
It's not an allegation. I'm talking to you as a lawyer.
How can you prove that?
I'm talking to you as a lawyer.
How can you prove that?
Since the Constitutional Council was put in place, since the Constitutional Council was put in place, give me one sound decision that you as a journalist, one sound decision that has been rendered by the Constitutional Council. You just give me one. Their only decision is inadmissible, non-friendly. That is all they can say. Although they are very old people, they cannot read, they cannot concentrate, they cannot research. Once there's a matter before them, they have to fall back to the person who appointed them and get their opinion on what to say.
Many Cameroonians expected your chairman to outrightly condemn the rejection of the candidacy of Professor Maurice Kamto, for example, by the Constitutional Council upholding the decision of elections Cameroon, but he just expressed sympathy with Professor Maurice Kamto.
Expressing sympathy, he himself has said that it was his will for all the candidates who applied to run for the presidency to qualify, to be declared qualified for that, for the presidential race. And that it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate that Professor Kamto Maurice, was politically, because that was a political decision, was not a legal decision, was not a legitimate decision, disqualified from the race. He himself has said that it is unfortunate, but that now that it has happened, and that is the final jurisdiction, we don't keep on crying over spilled milk. What is the way forward?
Should move forward.
We have to go move forward.
Right. Earlier you said that the President of the Republic is unfit to lead, but we saw him at the May 20 Avenue in Yaoundé during the last National Day celebration on May 20, and he was not looking that frail the way you seem to.
Do you have to see your president only during the 20th May? Do you have to hear your president only when there is 11 February, or when he has to receive an ambassador? Like 2 days ago, he was talking with the outgoing ambassador of France. 2 days, yesterday I think so. Is that the only occasions where we have to see the head of state? How many times, with the crisis that you have in the Northwest and the Southwest, how many times has he moved to the Northwest or the Southwest to sit with the people, listen to them, dialogue with them? How many times has he gone to the Eastern region, to the far north, all of these crisis places, to sit and resolve the issues? So you are only expecting to see him when there is 11 February to come and sit and look at the military conduct a march past. Is that the role of a president? Mr. Journalist, is that a role of a president? I say no. We cannot vote a president who is existing in the spirit. And that is why I have told you that even the CPDM, they will vote him out.
Right. I want us to go to the newsstands now. We'll take a look at what the newspapers reported this week. And when we come back, we're looking at the change momentum sweeping across the country. And according to the Social Democratic Front, Honorable O.C. Joshua, one of the candidates, is the most competent to bring about this change. We'll be right back in a moment. The Guardian Post reports that after the Constitutional Council upheld the decision of Elections Cameroon rejecting his candidacy for the October 12 presidential election, Professor Maurice Kamto is still a silent influence in the upcoming election, but the certainty of his swing effect at the poll is, at least for now, still a matter of conjecture. Meantime, an expert tells The Horizon that Honorable O.C. Joshua's program is the only viable alternative. In an editorial, The Voice puts forth the question, does President Biya now speak in tongues? According to the Guardian Post, President Paul Biya's re-election bid has gotten a big boost from the Indian and Meme divisions of the southwest region of Cameroon. It is reported in the median that the Bilingualism Commission has engaged the civil society in the southwest region to combat hate speech ahead of the presidential election. The institution did same with civil society organizations in Douala, as reported by Municipal Update. Cameroon Tribune highlights dialogue bringing together stakeholders of the electoral process ahead of October 12. Another issue of the Guardian Post feeds its readers with an editorial in which it says, ahead of the October 12 presidential election, the mad rush for the Grand North has started. Nous reports that ahead of the presidential election, journalists of the Cameroon English-speaking Journalists Association Douala chapter have been drilled on ethical reporting, Another issue of Cameroon Tribune tells its readers that all hands are on deck against corruption in Cameroon. The national challenge sounds an alarm over the rise of fake immigration agencies in Cameroon. About the start of the 2025-2026 academic year, Cameroon Tribune says all is set. Welcome back. We are still with our guest, Senator Barrister KINYANG George. Barrister, when you look at the present context of Cameroon, many people have said that, many analysts have said that there are only two things that are possible. Change can only come through a coalition of the opposition, or there will be no change. There will be no change. From your perspective, do you think that there is a possibility of change? October 12th, probably through your candidate, the Social Democratic Front flag bearer, Honorable O.C. Joshua.
Change cannot only come through a coalition. Coalition is the most assured way of achieving change, but that is not the only way for us to have change. We will have change if the 3 million Cameroonians who boycotted the elections in 2018, if they come out and vote. Because the 3 million Cameroonians who boycotted cannot be CPDM militants, because they were CPDM militants and actually enjoying from the system. They should have voted in 2018. So we are calling on the 3 million Cameroonians to come out this time and vote, and there will be change. Take note that Pobia, with the support of all the ministers from the northern regions, who have today, some of them resigned, had only 2.5 million votes. After massive fraud, let me repeat, after massive fraud.
And that's where there's a problem.
Yes.
The problem of fraud,
the
problem of vote
2.5 million people who voted for him, and 3 million boycotted. So the 3 millions, including the extra 2 millions that have registered, because the extra 2 millions that have registered are the real people who want change. So we are counting on 5 million newly registered, 5 million, who have never voted, to come out this time and vote, and there will be change. That 2.5 million that the head of state had in 2018, it is going to go down. That number is going to go down. Okay. Because the support he had from the north, he will no more have that support. He will not more have that support again from a majority of his own militants who want change. And so that is why I am saying that the only means to have change cannot only be through a coalition. Cameroonians should come out and vote and protect their votes. SDF has prepared all the grounds to combat corrupt electoral fraud. We are training 90,000 polling agents. This time around, we will make sure that all the polling stations in Cameroon have been manned by competent polling agents who will be committed to make sure that there is no fraud, and that is where we are going to win. Coalition is good. SDF is working towards that. But there will be victory of the opposition come 12th of October 2025, with or without the coalition, because the CPDM is trying to implant, they're already preparing for fraud, trying to give the impression that without a coalition, the opposition cannot win. But we are saying, just from what I have told you, that it is possible to win and win massively without a coalition.
It is possible to win and win massively without a coalition. And you seem to be very, very persuaded about this. You seem to be very confident about this. But how do you transmit this confidence, this trust that you are expressing to the millions of Cameroonians who have the power in their hands, who have the tool to determine the outcome, to vote Mr. X or Mr. Y?
It is simple. This is a platform that I'm using, and we have many other platforms. And we have mouth-to-mouth campaign, which will engage when the campaigns will start. And we are also saying that it is left on Cameroonians to choose between two things: change and continuity. Change and continuity that we are living in now, because the only program that the head of state, that Paul Biya has, who we are not seeing, that his agents, I cannot even say Paul Biya, the only program that his agents, corrupt agents, that they have is continuity, that we should vote for continuity. We should vote for a situation where the higher judicial council will never hold. We should vote for a situation where the roads that we are going through now, seeing with ourselves, will never be maintained, constructed. We should vote for a situation where our hospitals, that you live here, you go to a regional hospital, Buya, just to get a scan. Buya is referring people to La Cantini, that is a regional headquarters of a region. Is referring people to a different hospital just because there is no scan. And that is what obtains in all the other hospitals in the nation. And so Cameroonians, they will choose between voting for that continuity, where those hospitals will never have those equipment for their health. They will choose voting for that continuity, where we will keep on being sustained by corruption, where our children will keep on going out of the country to go and look for greener pastures. So it is left on Cameroonians to make that choice. And I've said that there is that population which is hungry, which is more than 5 million, that will play the joker come October 12, 2025. So they should make this decision. And when they make that particular decision, there will be that change.
I know that Honorable O.C. Joshua has presented a well-elaborated plan of action, his vision for Cameroon, to take Cameroon out of the current situation. We'll not get into all the details of that because the time will come for that, and we're definitely hoping to have him to go take us through that vision for Cameroon. But I want us to look at some few aspects. In Algeria, education from the nursery to the university level is free. At the university level, there is a token of less than $1. That's less than 600 francs CFA. Healthcare is free. Many other things are free. The roads are good, excellent. Can we have that in Cameroon? Can we hope to have that in Cameroon?
Honorable O.C. Joshua has offered free education from primary to high school, free education. And that is very possible in Cameroon if you look at his political program. Because, Mr. Babila, look at even the details. Look at what our teachers are going through. The school fees the people pay, PTA fees and all of those things. Where does the money go to? Where does the money go to? It ends up being embezzled, being stolen by some few individuals, because we don't have checks and controls in this system. And so, also Joshua is saying that that education which is the basis of any sustainable economy, is going to be free. That's from nursery, primary, up to the high school. He said it. It is in his program, and he's defended that particular position very well. How he's going to do it. We're talking about hospitals. Look at what is happening. Even paracetamol, you go to the hospital, you have to buy. Go to the hospital, look at people, look at people. If people go to the hospital, they die from things that they are not supposed to die of. Because the facilities are not there. The facilities are not there. And the facilities are not there because of what? Because it is corruption that is sustaining this nation. This nation is being run by Satan. And we will take it off and put things on the right track.
The nation is being run by Satan?
Yes.
What's the meaning of that?
They are sects now, they are sects. I don't want to, I am talking to you as a senator. I've been at the upper house. At the Senate. And when I tell you things that I have observed. I tell you things that I have lived. I have discussed, talked with high-ranking officials of this nation. And that is why I am telling you that this system is satanic. We have allowed Satan to take control. And we need to tell Satan that there is no relationship between light and darkness. Let us bring back light to govern Cameroon, and everything will be fine. Corruption. We must take it off the table.
Another aspect which I want us to look at in the vision of Honorable C. Joshua and the SDF is it has to do with the Anglophone crisis. He said he was going to solve the problem if elected president in 100 days.
Yes.
More about that.
Who knows the Northwest and the Southwest regions more than the SDF? Who in this nation, even the system, knows that Northwest and Southwest are the base of the SDF? Those who are in the bushes, that we call them today Amber, those are our brothers and sisters. It is after frustration that they are in the bushes. You think that if they had jobs, they will be going to the bushes? Who will be interested in going and sleeping in the bush and fighting and using guns to destroy, to kill? Who will be interested in doing that? Those are our people, they are our brothers and our sisters. We know them. I have, as a senator, I talk with them. I try to convince them to get out of those bushes, to put down their arms. And some of them are already used to it, because it is from there that they are feeding. They will tell me, you want senator, you come and give us jobs? I'm telling you, my subdivision, the Nous subdivision, Mr. Babila, without electricity, that's the only subdivision in the Bui division and in the Northwest region without electricity. And you expect the people to be happy just to access to my subdivision. And the big people of the system, they bring electricity and they stop around their own subdivisions and forget about us. And so you expect my people to be happy. I sang this song at the Senate and they gave me all the assurances. I wrote to the presidency, how can we have a subdivision without electricity? A Nous subdivision. I sang it. They said they were going to put on a program. Until today, we do not have it.
Just a little bracket. How are people living there? How are they surviving?
They are living there in darkness.
Without electricity.
They are living there in darkness. And they are living in darkness. That is a good hideout for negative things. When there is darkness, darkness attracts all the negative things. The people are unemployed. Even the farms, they cannot help them. Even the small things they get from their farms, they cannot evacuate those things to the market.
The roads are bad.
Poor roads. Everything is bad. Everything is bad. How do you treat a people like this? Is this not a human right abuse? What have these people done to the system to merit this inhuman treatment? Is it that, because I did a feasibility study with the Minister of Water and Energy, he said do it and bring it on to sponsor. Less than 1 billion to bring electricity in the Nous subdivision, less than 1 billion. I think the amount, to be more precise, is around 890 million. And the state is unable to do it. And do you think they are unable to do it? They are just wicked. They are just wicked. Is it Pobia is there to come and do it? The people are there. His agents are there who are supposed to do it, and they have refused to do it. And you want the people to be happy?
Right. Mr. Senator, I want you to take a look at this camera, straight into this camera.
Yes.
It's not yet time for campaigning. There's an official time that has been stated and established by the Electoral Code. But I want you to look at this camera and talk to your people in Noni and Cameroonians in general with regards to the forthcoming presidential election. What should they be looking out for as they go to the polls to drop their ballot papers into the ballot boxes? What should they be looking out for? What should they have at the back of their mind?
So what I am saying now to the Noni people applies to all over Cameroon. I am telling my Noni people, the Noni subdivision, who have been denied electricity in this nation, the only subdivision without electricity, that it is your right as the citizens of this country to have electricity. I have struggled, and we have had it around Din, right to Bamti. But we need to extend it to all the other villages, to Jotin, to Dom, to Ngor, to Benon, and all the other villages that cover the Noni subdivision. Like the same thing in all the other regions. I'm saying that most of the far north regions hasn't got to electricity from our statistics in the Senate. So I am telling the people that you have that opportunity now to determine whether you will keep on living in a system of continuity, because CPDM is talking about continuity. Whether you will now live in that system of continuity without electricity. You will live in a system of continuity with Amber, who are disgruntled because they do not have jobs. You will live in the system of continuity of lack of roads to evacuate your farm products. A system of continuity of lack of educational facilities. You don't have teachers. Teachers sent to your place, they cannot even come there because the social life there is extremely difficult, unbearable. It applies to all over Cameroon, Eastern region, far north. We need these basic requirements. It is our social right, our human right to have these things. And so it is left on you now to choose to live in this misery, in this poverty, by voting somebody that you have never seen in Noni, by voting somebody that you have never seen in the Northwest region. It is left on you to vote somebody that is policy of continuity is to maintain the military to be fighting with the Ambers instead of calling for dialogue, like Osi Joshua is proposing. That me, Osi Joshua, I will release everybody that does not have blood in his hands, and that we will sit and dialogue, and then to bring everybody on the dialogue team so that we will look at the way forward and try to solve these problems that have been keeping us in this perpetual misery. So go on that day and decide to vote for either federalism, which is power to the people, which is government of the people, for the people and by the people, starting from the local authorities, the municipal powers, right up. So power is supposed to start from the bottom to the top and not from the top to the bottom. So go and determine where you belong, whether federalism or centralization, where one person has all the powers on parliament, has all the powers over the executive, has all the power over the judiciary, has all the power over the military. Where you want to construct a small bridge in your village, in your subdivision, Yaoundé has to say, okay, to validate. And we are saying that no, your mayors, come October, will be the one to determine where to build a bridge, where to build a school, where to build a hospital, and how to manage those things. It will no more be Yaoundé. So go and choose between continuity, which is the present system, and federalism, which is Mr. Osei Joshua.
Right. We'll take some interviews right now, and after that, we'll talk about the problem of land dispute seriously threatening social peace and cohesion in Cameroon, especially in the major urban centers where there is a huge pressure on land as a result of the increasing population, with people coming into cities like Douala from all over the country and from other African nations. Stay with us. We'll be right back in a moment.
If you look at our institutions, you look at the life standard, the standard of living of Cameroonians, you look at the society, it reflects the reality in Cameroon. It is very bad. It is very bad. Mr. Babida, how do you explain to the world that we have a leader who's been there for 42 years, 43 years, and then he's still going for re-elections? People should vote out the president. We should do for a president. People should vote for a change. People should vote for a change in this country. They should vote a leader who can use the resources that we have to ameliorate the living standards, the living condition of the population.
We don't know how to go out there as a country, talk to people, talk to investors, talk to even our citizens and so on. So when you have not developed the culture of proper communication, then you cannot sell your produce, then you cannot be that good as you wish to be. Entrepreneurship and learning how to create wealth is a very important thing for a nation. And if we don't go beyond that, we will always be last at most of the things that are happening. Our educational system should improve so that we can do better and catch up with the rest of the world.
Thank you for staying with us. Those were interviews of the week. Senator Barrister KINYANG George, what's your analysis of this problem of land disputes seriously threatening social peace and cohesion in Douala, other major urban centers in Bafoussam and all over the country?
Mr. Babila, the 1974 land law is a bad law. And the 1974 land law has made it possible that you find few individuals grabbing all the lands. The rich land now, as we speak, is for the rich. A poor man has no means to follow procedure and obtain or get a land certificate. It is difficult with our system. And the whole scenario is extremely corrupt. In fact, I can tell you as a lawyer,
The process of obtaining a land
certificate is extremely corrupt. Extremely corrupt. That ministry, the Ministry of Lands, I tell you, that is the most corrupt ministry that you can find in this country. I am talking to you as a lawyer. And so, there is a new law that has been pending in the drawers of the same government to change this 1974 bad law. And they do not want to change because the new law is going to come and protect everybody and seize powers from the rich and benefit everybody. And so, since there are people who have around 100 land certificates, having around 1,000 hectares of lands backed by land certificates. And these people are being protected by the system. They are the people who are in charge of this system, who wants continuity.
What is bad in the law?
I have told you that just the procedure. Do you know that even for you just to go and obtain a land ownership certificate to show that you have this land belongs to you, even if it is 500 meters square, you pay more than 45,000. I think it should be around close to 40,000 just to obtain a certificate, a paper, showing that yes, land number this, located at this place, measuring this number of meters square, belongs to this person, and signed by the land conservator. That document is around 35,000. Just to engage the procedure to obtain a land certificate in this country is extremely cumbersome, complicated, and expensive. You will bribe at every stage of the process. And we also have a minister today who today can cancel a land certificate and then tomorrow reinstate that same land certificate. All is negotiation, all is corruption, all is the power of payment. There is a land conservator here. Land conservator here. They change everybody in that ministry. He is untouchable. Because every time he carries what suits. He carries money to go negotiate, to be at that position. I'm telling you about practical things that I know. And so we are talking about the urban area.
Well, I have no means to verify what you're saying right now, but the real problem that I want us to look at is the fact that this situation or this enabling environment is seriously threatening social peace because of the loopholes, because of the flaws in the law. Land disputes are recurrent. People are even killing themselves.
People are killing themselves because of the bad law that has made it possible for few individuals to own everything. And for few individuals, because they have the powers, they are even selling state lands. State lands have been sold all over in Douala already. And sold by some of those ministers. And so, when you now sell everything, what do you now expect from those who need that same land to live, to sustain their lives? There are bound to be conflicts. When you go again and use your powers to come and take the small that the poor people have, like what is happening in Douala in major cities, that you just sit today and they now tell you that no, you have a land certificate, they bring you another land certificate. That no, this place like that, there are 2-3 land certificates on the same place.
And then they start breaking homes,
yes,
sometimes at very late hours of the night with the people in the homes.
You just sit in your home. They say they are executing a judgment because you are here, this land does not belong to you. Some of them who actually have their land certificates, they still come and destroy, they break and drive them off in that type of a situation. You go to apply, you just go to apply, go and see a DO, divisional officer, just to step somewhere to make sure that he solves the conflict and all that. You need to pay for him just to display, to displace himself. You cannot pay less than 100,000 francs in the urban area to a sub-DO to go and solve a land issue, to issue just a document to say there's a crisis here, hold on until it is resolved. And so that's why I'm saying that the justice system, the whole thing surrounding land conflicts and everything is for the poor, it's for the rich. The poor, they do not have any way out. And that is why you are finding conflict with the conflict of the law, with the bad law that is not protecting everybody.
You were recently handling one of the cases of land dispute in Bonaberi in the Douala 4 subdivision that generated a lot of conflicts infighting within a family and the different parties. Tell us about that.
Yes, you are talking about this issue where they came to and used Equinoxe to say that I was being corrupted in order to defend a wrong person. We are talking about land in Bonendale, in Bonaberi, where I have been defending late Mama Mbango Tekle. She died early last year. And I won the matter at the appeal court. We went to the Supreme Court. I followed her adversaries in the Supreme Court and I won. And then I will come back home. And the same people within the family who were now saying that Mbango Tekle as a woman does not have right to own land. And this is one of the issues. That people are saying that a woman does not have the right
to own land.
To own land. And I say that, but the law has given her the right to own land. And the judgment, appeal court, Supreme Court, that I have won, says that Mama Mbango is the owner of these lands at Bonendale, and she is the only person to determine whether to sell or not to sell. And then some people come from Norway, children within the family, and they start selling. And I tell them, no, you cannot start selling. Listen to your parents. And they say, no, Mama Mbango was there selling. Why are you blocking us from selling? I said, no. Their parents tell me to take them to court. Presently, I'm in the criminal court. Mama Mbango tells me before, when she was leaving, I have the videos, which I gave you people, that gave Equinoxe. Play this video for everybody to listen to. When Mama Mbango is saying that you, as my lawyer, don't treat with this, my children, they are thieves. They are far-related cousins, not direct children. Don't treat with them. And then now she dies, and then the same children who were fighting Mama Mbango, who is the owner of all of these lands, they want me to allow them to sell those lands. And I said, no, I cannot do that. I will not allow you to go sell the lands. You have your parents, there's tradition. And your parents, they are family heads. Your family heads have given me that authorization
to act as the lawyer of the family.
On your behalf. A legal power of attorney to act on behalf of your family. And I cannot leave your elders and come and be talking with you. And so that is the conflict. That is where I am a bad person. Because I do not want anarchy. I want the law to be respected. We are in court, and a criminal court. And in between now and the next 3 months, the court will tell Cameroonians whether I am right to protect those lands or these children who are hungry, who think that the only thing is for them to sit down, go in the morning and stay looking whether there's a customer to sell land that does not carry their names. Because all those lands, they have land certificates. To sell lands that the court has appointed a successor with a final judgment. And they are telling me not to respect the court order because they want to sell those lands. I said, I cannot do that. I'm a legislator. I'm bound to respect. I'm a lawyer. I respect the court orders. That is where there is a problem. And so they came and gave a different picture of me, and they asked for the right
of
response.
As of now, it is established that you are the legal representative of the family of Mama Mbango,
who has, as a family head, Mr. Ebonge Daniel. Is a military man living in Yaoundé. This is the family head appointed by the family of Mama Mbango before a notary public. And that appointment, he stands as we speak, and I'm working with him.
Right, so you're working with him to obtain justice.
To defend the interest.
To defend the
interest of the family.
And for the law to be respected.
For the law to be respected. And so we are doing a negotiation. There were few conflicts between the two families, the maternal and the paternal family of this lady who has gone. So I am in a negotiation to bring reconciliation between the two families, because there is no point living in conflict because of land. We need to at one point agree for the way forward. That is what I'm doing now, and I'm going to succeed.
An amicable settlement of the dispute?
Amicable settlement. That is the way forward, and not fighting through the courts.
All right, for peace to reign.
Yes.
Right, so to conclude on this issue of land disputes, how can this problem be laid to rest? How can this problem be definitely solved?
We need a good law. We need a good land law in this country that will protect all Cameroonians, that will not give powers only to the rich, that will not allow the rich to grab all the lands. After that, it is injustice. It is bad law to make it possible for one person to be having 100 hectares, 200 hectares. Some of the ministers, they even have 1,000 hectares. Some of my colleagues, they have 500 hectares of land. What about the rest of the people? I'm saying that this is bad law. So we need a new law to protect the rights of every Cameroonian with respect to land ownership.
The law should limit the number of hectares, for example, that an individual should have. Is that what you're suggesting?
It has to limit, and it has to make it possible for everybody to have a land certificate without stress, without a cumbersome procedure.
We have seen situations in the northwest region of the country where some villagers are raising concerns that their lands have been seized and an entire village taken over by an individual who should not want to mention here. When you look at this kind of situation, what is the remedy? Amicable settlement while waiting for the law?
The first remedy is to vote out this system. My Northwest people, the first remedy is to vote out this system. For that manipulation that CPDM has put in your heads, that without a coalition they cannot win. I have told you that it is possible to win without a coalition. And I'm telling my Amber brothers and sisters, if you say that people should not come out to vote, then you want continuity. You want to continue to fight with the military as a solution, because that's the solution that Paul Biya has for you people. So either you listen to what O.C. Joshua is saying and allow Northwesterners, allow Southwesterners, because that is our base, to come out and vote for the truth to prevail, for the legal candidate to win. Or you block voting, because once you block voting, Elekam and the military and the duos, they will vote for the CPDM. And they will continue to be in control, and continuity that they are saying, which is their slogan, will continue and be ready to continue fighting the military, losing lives, both the military, the civilian, destroying property, what we are going through today. So we are saying that this has to change from October. And this issue of lockout, I hear they are talking about lockdown, so that people should not go and vote. If it is a manipulation from the CPDM, you have to make sure that this manipulation does not happen. You have to refuse this manipulation, because once people don't go out to vote, you are contributing for the continuity. You are contributing to maintain Paul Biya in power, and we will keep on living in this darkness. Please let us bring light and take away this darkness.
Senator Barrister KINYANG George, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for the insights you've shared with us in this edition of the program.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm available. We want change.
That was Senator Barrister KINYANG George, legal advisor, national legal advisor of the Social Democratic Front, SDF political party. Thank you so much for staying with us. You can follow us on our social media handles on Facebook and on YouTube. You can also follow the rebroadcast of the program on Friday. And thank you so much for always being with us on Equinoxe Television. God bless Cameroon. Goodbye.